top of the world, like nothing's ever gonna bring me down. This feeling got me flying high as a bird. I may never touch the ground. It may not be my birthday, but I just wanna celebrate. I just wanna celebrate. 'Cause it's a good day, good life. I just wanna celebrate all night.
So we've just gotten out of the car and stretching our legs from a long ride. We are in Traverse City, Michigan at the Centerpoint Marina, which is the home of the Great Lakes Sailing Company. My first mate and cameraman, Emily, and I have chartered a 32-foot sailboat, Beneteau 323, which we plan on sailing on Grand Traverse Bay for the next couple of days. It's a beautiful night, a little on the chilly side. Just getting to our boat, finding out what we've got waiting for us. So let's go check out and see our accommodations for the next couple of days. So here's our boat, and let's go check out what it's like down below. Come on along. Well, this isn't bad. This is in pretty good shape for a boat of its age. I think it's around a 2001. It's got a lot of room. Big wide beam on it. We've got, let's see, checking it out here. We've got the nav station and control panel over here on the starboard side. Nice, with plenty of room with the table here in the center. Looks like the V berth is full of some of the cockpit cushions and things out there, so we'll get those out and check that out a little bit later. This must be the head over here. Let's see, take a look here. I don't know if I can get a light on in there. Still figuring out where the headlight, there we go. So we've got a head, built-in shower if we need it, a little handheld there. And lastly, going to the aft, we've got our sleeping quarters. So get the cushions and the mattress, or the blankets and pillows out. We'll make that up really nice, and we'll have a comfy stay. The Great Lakes Sailing Company does a nice job welcoming you for a late arrival after hours when you have booked the optional sleep aboard night before your charter begins. A sign with your name greets you on the bow pulpit, and the cabin lights are left on so you can find your way down below. Emily and I loaded up our gear and made the aft cabin so we could get an early start on our big day ahead. GLSC is located in Centerpoint Marina on the west side of Traverse City, along Route M22. It's a well-kept marina with nice shore facilities and a small chandlery. We have awoken to a gorgeous day for sailing with clear blue skies and a moderate easterly of about 10 knots. We took a few moments to check out our surroundings and then headed into town for breakfast and to get some needed provisions for our trip. Traverse City has all the restaurants and stores that we could need, and we finished our mission well before our scheduled boat briefing of 10 a.m.
What else is got here? Hand-bearing compass. There's some guides for the electronics.
I don't want to get you out of order because you may cover it, but just the hand-bearing compass made me think, because I was kind of just, do we just have the GPS, or do you have paper charts, dividers, parallel rules that are on board?
Got all that stuff, yeah.
Motor
oil, yeah, you got wood plugs, engine spares, there's a belt.
Even the most experienced sailor appreciates a good orientation to a boat they are sailing for the first time, and the team at GLSC seemed very knowledgeable and professional. A nice thing about charter boats in the U.S. waters is that they are all very well regulated, and the boat must be completely outfitted with a wide range of safety and emergency equipment. You just need to know where to find that stuff in the unlikely event that you end up needing it. If you're not an experienced sailor, or your captain's skills are a little rusty, you should know that GLSC is also home to an American Sailing Association school that can help anyone with any level of experience become competent in bareboat chartering, and you can earn an ASA certificate to provide proof of your knowledge and experience that is recognized by charter companies around the world.
This boat's going to have single line reefing.
With our briefing complete, it was time for us to slip the lines and start our 18-mile journey to Omena, Michigan. The gentle easterly breeze was just strong enough to give us good headway, but not cause us any problems for the autopilot. So we were able to kick back and relax while enjoying a picture-perfect sail up the west arm of the Grand Traverse Bay. Days like these are very common on the bay. The west arm of the Grand Traverse Bay is only 4 miles wide at its widest point, which keeps seas to a minimum during strong winds and is narrow enough to create thermal breezes on calm days. The north to south orientation on the bay makes most days favorable for the prevailing westerlies. We arrived in Omena in late afternoon to find that the mooring balls in the bay had all been taken, and we were presented with an interesting anchoring situation. The perimeter of the bay on all sides was a shallow, pristine sand bottom for several hundred feet from shore, but the sandbar formed a very rapid drop-off. We poked our nose of our Beneteau over the sandbar and set the anchor in just 7 feet of water before playing out 45 feet of scope, which left the boat riding in a whopping 80 feet of water. What we didn't know was how much water we would have in the shallows if the wind switched directions, so we got in the dinghy and headed out to find a little local knowledge. Okay, so we got the boat on the hook and secure. We are in, help with the name of the bay, Emma?
Omena.
Onita or Omena?
Omena.
Omena Bay. We're gonna go in, have a little dinner. It's kind of a tough anchor. The mooring buoys were taken, so there's a ledge, a shelf that drops off, goes from about 8 to 10 feet down to 80 and no space, and then it gets pretty shallow over here. So we snuck up to the edge of the shelf, dropped the hook down, got it set really hard. And right now the wind's blowing us off into the deep water, so everything's okay. But I'm not sure what the depth is coming in here if we swing the 50 feet or so of road that we got out. So we're gonna roll over to a boat, a smaller boat that's closer. See if they got a depth sounder and find out just exactly how much water we got to swing this way. So, and then we're gonna go have a bite to eat.
There you go.
That was awesome. Nice job. Blues, bluegrass.
Years of work right there.
There you go. We're recording our trip for you two. Yeah. So, hey, you can help us out though. As a matter of fact, is that we chartered the boat and we don't know the waters really well.
Yeah.
It obviously gets shallow here in a hurry. So what we did is I just snuck up to that shelf and I dropped the anchor on the edge of the hook. But if I swing this way, do you have a depth sounder on board? Do you know how much water you're sitting in?
I do.
You're sitting about, what,
6.5 feet.
6.5?
Yeah, that's perfect. So if I drop 5 and I'm on 50 feet of road, I should be able to swing in just fine and clear, right?
Yeah, I'll swing the other way. I mean, I think you're fine, but
Yeah.
I'm not great boaters either.
With Godspeed, that's the name of our boat, by the way, safely anchored, we continued to the unincorporated village of Omena, which is part of Leelanau Township. There's a small country store for any provisions you may have forgotten, as well as the Tamarack Art Gallery, the Leelanau Wine Tasting Cellars, and our destination for the evening, the Not Just a Bar restaurant. The restaurant was quite busy, as it is a popular dining destination for many people in the northern Leelanau Peninsula. So, we found a spot at the bar for a drink while we waited for our table. We could see Godspeed swinging gently on the hook directly in front of us. One of my favorite things while cruising are the occasional times you can have a great meal and drinks while watching your boat at anchor and knowing your bed is just a short dinghy ride from the restaurant. The restaurant did not disappoint us. Suffice to say, the restaurant was busy for a good reason, and it seemed to be the perfect way to end the perfect day on Grand Traverse Bay. The sun was setting on a very peaceful evening in Omena Bay, and the locals were finding their way to the shore for some bonfires and a few fireworks to celebrate the 4th of July weekend. Peaceful sunrises and sunsets are a common reward for cruising sailors. This morning was no different. When I'm not sailing, I rise early for work, and even though we didn't set any alarms on this trip, my internal clock was telling me it was time to be awake. Emily was managing to ignore this instinct and was getting some shut-eye, so there's nothing for me to do but relax and enjoy the show. Sunday was shaping up to be another glorious day. Our plan was to get underway early and make our way 20 miles back down the bay in time to catch the U.S. Navy's Blue Angels, who were performing at the National Cherry Festival Air Show. We were not alone, as many people from the area are well aware that watching the air show from the water is the best seat in the house. What wind we had was light and near the direction we were heading. We didn't have time to play, so we cranked up the engine, set the autopilot, and motored our way back to Traverse City. We arrived at the perfect time before the air show and found a spot amongst the other boats. Emily had a moment to take a quick dip before the Blue Angels came storming down the bay. So we finished up the air show. That was an awesome thing to see, and we had a couple hours left, so we raised the sails and had a nice gentle sail around Grand Traverse Bay, killing off a couple of hours while we had a drink and a couple of snacks, and then we found our way back right where we started just a little bit less than 48 hours ago, tied up at our berth at Great Lakes Sailing Company. What a great time on Grand Traverse Bay. Beneteau makes a wonderful boat. We thoroughly enjoyed sailing Godspeed, and I'm certain we have only seen a tiny bit of what Grand Traverse Bay has to offer. I definitely think that we will be coming back here again sometime in the near future for a little bit more easy breezy Michigan living.
I woke up feeling on top of the world, like nothing's ever gonna bring me down. This feeling got me flying high as a bird. I may never touch the ground. It may not be my birthday, but I just wanna celebrate.